Okay, what we're going to do today is we're going to make buttons for our website. As you can see in front of you, we've got a little working example of something that we can create to go within our website. It's not perfect, it's just a little rough idea of what you can do. Okay, so first off what we need to do is press Ctrl and N to make a new document, and I'm going to have a width of 1200 pixels, a height of 50 pixels. I'm going to have my resolution 72, which is quite standard for the internet, and I'm going to have a transparent background. Once I've done that, click on OK, and it gives me a working area. First thing I need to do is give it a background. Okay, now in this example what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a gradient. What's important to realise when we're working with gradients is the colours down here in the bottom left hand corner, they would define the colours that are inside that gradient. So for example, this is going to be a mixture between black and white. What I want to do is click on the foreground colour and change this to a burnt orange. Once I've done that, I'm going to select gradient. So yours may look like a paint bucket. If you click and hold on it, it brings up additional options. I'll click on the gradient so, and while holding shift, I'm going to drag a line up. The reason why I'm holding shift is it makes sure that the line stays perfectly parallel straight. If I don't use shift, my gradient could be slightly off. Once I've done that, I'll let go. And what you'll notice is the more I pull the line up, the more it changes the gradient. For example, if I do it a tiny bit, there's a very sharp transition from one colour to the other. The more I drag the line up, the more gradual it is. So I'm going to use that, so I'm happy with that, maybe a little bit more. Okay, now what I need to do, we look at our example, is I need to put some writing on it. To put writing on it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my text layer. So I click on the T, keep in mind of the font type, font size, smooth, crisp, wrong, sharp, just slight variations on the text. Text alignment, and more very important is the colour of that writing. So if I click on the colour, I'm going to use black to make it easy to see at this point. We will change it later on. I go to the top left hand corner of my background and I drag a box. What that gives me then is a working area to type in writing. So I'm going to type in home, about, these are very standard links that we'd use, contact, and maybe gallery. Click on the tick, happy with that. Move to, use the arrow keys just to give it a little nudge. Okay, happy with that. Now if you notice in our original example, we've got white writing with a black outline. Now in Photoshop, this outline is known as a stroke. Now in order to give something a stroke, we have to use blending options. So I'll right click on my text layer and select blended options like so. Move it out the way so I can see my writing, and I'm going to select stroke. Now if I just click on the tick box, it will apply the default settings, which is very thick black stroke around the edge. It doesn't look very good. Now if I click on the stroke writing itself, it gives us specific options for the stroke. Now you can see the size here is measured in pixels. I changed that to 1. It looks a little bit better. Colour, you can change it to any colour that you wish. However, for example, black, red and orange doesn't go very well. So I'm going to use black. Click on OK. Next, I'm going to give it a drop shadow. You'll notice at the moment, if I move the distance, it's quite bleached out. Okay, the reason for that being is our opacity is only 75% and our blender mode. Okay, you can leave it on multiply, you can play about with it later on. One little useful thing is contour. You'll notice the way the contour actually changes the way the writing behaves. Okay, that's standard. However, if I put it on this one, you can see it's making like actual writing. I change the colour again. You know, it's quite a good effect. However, what you choose is totally up to you. I click on OK. OK again. You can see we couldn't effect. Next thing I need to do is I need to change the colour of my text. So at the moment the black stroke around the black writing doesn't look very good. So if I double click on the T of our text layer, it highlights all my writing for me. And then what I can do is I can change the colour with the option on the top to white. You can see it looks a little bit better. If I'm happy with it, I click on the tick. Okay. Now you can see in this example I've got lines that split up each of my words. To do that I need to use the shape tool. Okay, so on that toolbar I'm going to click and hold on the shape. I'm going to select the line tool. Now remember the options across the top are the options for the tool that you're working with in that point in time. Okay, now you'll notice with shapes it's automatically going to apply a stroke to it. In this case I want to turn it off. To turn it off is the left option there. The colour, that's a fill, I'll have it black. I want it to be solid, and I want the width of it to be 2 pixels. Now again, I'm going to hold shift to make sure it's a perfect straight line. I'm going to drag it down like so, and you can see it's white. If I double click on the shape layer, I can change the colour, turn off the stroke, fill, black, and you can see it's black. Okay, just a few ways that we can alter what we're doing. Now, to make sure that we use the same line over and over again, so we put different styling on it. Right click, blended options, outer glow. You can see it puts little effects onto it. Okay, the more you apply to it, the more unique it'll be. Now, if you apply lots of different blended options to it again, it'll be very, very long-winded and time-consuming to do a brand new line. Apply the features again over and over and over again. So the quickest way to do it is to just simply duplicate that layer. Okay, so the shape, I'm going to double click on shape 1. We'll call that line. I can either right click on it and use duplicate layer. Line copy, okay. Use the move tool, move it across. Or I can take the layer, I can drag it down onto the layer option and let go. Move it across, drag it down, move it across. Okay, couple of ways that you can do it. Now what I need to do is, you can see I've applied a pattern to the background. A couple of ways we can do this. We can make a brand new layer on a different canvas and import it in, or we can do it a quick way, which is using custom shapes tool. So what I need to do is I need to click and hold on the line and go to custom shape. And remember, across the top, these are the options for what we're using at that point in time. And you can see a little drop down, we've got a custom shapes here. Okay, if you can't see them all, there's a little cog in the top right hand corner. We click on that and we click on all and append. What it'll do is it'll add all these shapes so you can see them. Now I'm going to use slightly different to the original example. Is I'm going to use this floral ornament. I'm going to make it so it's white, and I'm going to drag it out like so. Now what you'll notice is, well, that's on top for my writing. What I need to do is I need to change my layer order so it sits in the background. Right click and hold the shape layer itself, move it down, let go. You can see it's now actually underneath the writing. Okay, what I want to do is play about with it so I'm happy with it. What I'll do is I'll hold Control and press T to transform it and resize it a bit over like that maybe. Click on the tick or press enter when I'm happy. If I'm not happy, press escape or cancel transform like so. Now you can see there already I've created a custom button. Okay. Now what we need to do to get this into our website is there are a couple of ways we can go about it. We can use slices. If we have a look on our crop tool and click and go to slice tool, we click and hold the slice like so. You can see it's got now a brown bounding box around it. This time we'll go from the right, go over the neck go, right again, scroll over, and you can see the way the line's actually snapping. You want to look for that snap because it makes sure that your line's perfect. Same again. And then finally, this big gap over here, I need to zoom out, so I'm going to click on the magnifying glass, hold out, and zoom out. Slice again. This time I'm going to take this whole thing and just snap it over like so. Okay, now to get that from there into a file that I can use inside the website, very straightforward. I click on File, Save for Web. This allows us to export these as image files to use inside our website. For this example, I'm just using JPEG. Click on Save, and it will specify where you need to save it to. Okay, and that is how you can create a very simple set of buttons for your website.